Hey y'all, it's Shelly and I am Scrappy Longstocking. I am here today to do my planning for Project Life July 2025. I've got printed out the digital version of the Stories by the Month kit for this year. I've got the remnants of my kit for 2024 from last year. And I've got two probably unused kits from 2023 and 2022 from Studio Calico. They very much look unused. So I'm gonna start with this one because I know there's some items in here that I want to use for my first week. I am doing this during on the 13th, which is about halfway through the month, but I've already printed out pictures for the first 2 weeks, and I will probably today print out the photos for the 13th maybe, but I just wanted to go ahead and start. Let's see. I'm just gonna sorting these. So I'm gonna put this over here out of the way for now. All right. So I have a bunch of these kits left over from 2024 because I did a 6x8 and an old version of a memory planner, and I did not use a lot of these kits last year just because I was using just journaling and the inserts. I think there's a couple of those on my that's kind of nice to have. I think there's a couple of those on my page already. So these were the ones I knew that I hadn't used these yet, these vellum 1 through 5. And I actually bought the digital number stamp of this for July so that I could make some additional of these cards or something similar if I decided I wanted to. And I probably could, because when I decided to move the July, was it June? I think I moved June into my second album so that it's 7 months. So my second album is 7 months. So because I wanted to use these for 1 through 5, I could potentially go ahead and make similar cards for 29 and 30 and just duplicate these for those so that the left and right of the page would be the same. I went to go ahead and grab my pages for those as well because I still have, these were left over from last year. These are leftovers from the year before, which would be 23. And I decided to use this design for this week, so that I could use up all of those and I could use them at the same time. I used the banner to make my ING card, my 4x6 ING card for this month. So that's why I have that in there already. It's because I knew I wanted to use those for one of those weeks. So I'm going to just stick these right in here. And I know this week, I'm also going to need, I think this pen will work. I need the June 4x6. I think this one has the page with the 3 4x6s on the left. So I think it goes like this. Okay, and then that makes it a little easier. And then on the right has that. So I want June in this side because, and then I know it has the 6x8 insert because I have the calendar. So this is my calendar. That's my June card. So I like that. Okay. And then I know that I'll use these. So I make a 29 and 30 card with the stamp. Okay. So I like that. So I will set these aside. I think these actually go with this one. I'm going to set those aside so that I can just sort through what's left. I also know this one had some larger pieces. Let's just hang out and do nothing. This month looks like this. These I like. Grateful for the little moments. Currently out of office. Currently taking it easy. That reminds me of that song. I think it's, I want to say John Denver. Take it easy. I might go ahead and cut that out because you guys don't need to hear me sing. Okay, so these words, the story, loving these lazy days, new rhythm. What else do we got? These photos. I like when she does that. 2 of the story. So this is good because this one has a bunch of 3x4 or 4x6s on it. Summer vibes, bring on the boom. There's more of that. So I do like that. Let's see. I'm not sure this will fit the vibe of this page because there was a wedding on the last day. So I'm not sure I want to use like the stars and stripes, but I did want to use that. I do love this page, this paper. Those, yes, to new rhythms, summer vibes. I think I'm going to set this stuff over here real quick. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, and I'm going to look at the 25 kit to see if there's, so their wedding colors were like a sage green and a rustic orange. Okay, and this one is the slow. Yeah, that one is slow. Slow rhythms, easy like Sunday morning. Oh, I might use that for, that might go really well because this Sunday on the 29th, I just watched the Gilmore Girls. That was basically all I did. So the other thing that I did in Canva was I recolored these cards here. I duplicated it and printed out 4 of them because the original color was this orangey yellow color and I wanted the lighter colors of this kit instead of that one. I could still go back and print one of those out. And I'm going to have to go back and print out these because my printer cut that off and I don't know why, because it's set to a 4x6. I did the same thing with that one, so I'll have to reprint that number 3. And this one, I think these were vellum cards that I reprinted. I moved where this part of the card was. I just cropped it and adjusted it, and I'm going to leave this as a 4x6. I think that's a good, I like the way that turned out. So this is making me, doing this month, I also did it with August. And I only buy the storyteller kits this way too, with the vellum. So there's not the storyteller kits, story play kits. So I'm getting more and more used to doing a whole kit in digital. And I'm thinking next year I might just buy the digital instead of the paper kit, because this year I bought it with with the physical kit, because there's a lot of this gold on them. And at the beginning of the year, Canva didn't have the ability to recolor this, and when it comes out like this yellow color, and I didn't want my whole year to have that yellow color yellow color, because I'm not a fan of it. So let's see, I know I want the 1 through 5 cards, and then I'm going to make a 29 and a 30. I know that my whole I think I need the calendar on the right instead of the left. So I know that all of my photos are 3x4 cards. So I didn't plan out to do any 4x6 just because I wasn't paying attention. I just picked whatever happened for that day, and I made it that day. So I think this planning is a little more difficult because I've already lived this week, and I'm not sure if I have been eating a lot of ice cream, so I like that. Make your own sunshine. See, like this would have been a gold card, but I just recolored the gold to blue, and I didn't upload the one that has the fake shimmer at all. I don't like those. Let's see, currently, here's what's inspiring me right now. That might go well with the wedding. Let's see, orange. Blue goes well with orange. I like that. Just this, what I want to remember. That might go well with the wedding colors. So on this, I just miscut this, but I always end up having to cut them down when I put them in the pocket, so I decided not to reprint that yet. This looks like an orange instead of a lemon. A summer bucket list. I already did that with another kit. I like that green because of the wedding colors. I'm gonna do that one too, since I spent a whole day hanging out. So I'm gonna add those and Easy Like Sunday Morning, and that's going to be part of my week 1. And if I don't use them, I'll put them into my stash. Also, my plan is when I get these, I think they'll come, they might come at the end of this month, or they might come next month. I can't remember what the shipping update was, but I will just add whatever, swap out things or add them to my stash. I don't really care either way. So let's see. Good times and tan lines. So I am also taking a trip later in the summer. I almost bought that stamp digitally. I might buy that stamp. So my story and your story, I don't know what to do with these cards. This is the second or third one that's there, and maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe it's one of those things where when you take a selfie with another person, then I could just write my story, your story on there, and that might work for me. I am not actually sure. So I'll think about that a little bit. But that might be the only way. Or me and my pet, I might be able to do 2 of these cards here for my 2 cats and just add in something about, because I'm always taking photos of them that way. And see, this was going to be another gold starburst one. So maybe that's a cool thing. Where do when I find another week where I have some 4x6s in there. Well, that took out a lot of my sort of this flag, Independence Day. I didn't really do anything for Independence Day this year or last year. This one is for story cards. Highs and lows. There's another one of those. Savoring the season. If I do like this, the blue, the stars on the blue. So there's that. I mean, I could, here for the party. That's cute. I could just put those wedding photos on the insert, and I could use, I'm going to add this one because I usually don't like going out into the heat with all the people, especially by myself, to watch fireworks. So what does this look like? That's kind of darker. So I don't usually go anywhere or do anything, and it's late and you get home. It takes like 4 times as long to get home. Summer vibes, new rhythms. That looks like the same. That's the same pattern. Now I kind of wish I had that kit in digital, but I wasn't buying them in digital because of the gold. Okay, so I'm going to add that one, and I might skip the blue stars, savoring this season. So some of these I want to save them for my vacation in September, or maybe that's the August kit I wanted to save. So I know I want that for my vacation. I think there's another card from another month. So like, and I know there's going to be a ton of stars because I'll be at the beach. So I kind of want to change this to say, making a, I think these kind of go with the beach too, orange juice and lemonade. Sort of a beachy sort of vibe. To change it so it's like a to-do list getting ready for a vacation, because for me, I've gained a bunch of weight. Make your own sunshine. I've gained a bunch of weight this year, and so I know I usually use this, but I think I want the gold one for that, and those kind of match. So that will go basically with everything. So I can do, there we go, maybe that. I like that bright blue too. That's a much brighter blue. So these are kind of beachy or vacation planning-y, something like that. And I just completely lost what I was saying out loud. Oh, let's change it to make a to-do list for going on vacation. Good gravy. It really is hard, folks, to do 2 things at once. So I'm going to set those aside in a pile and those aside in a pile. I'm okay with mixing this stuff up. I think I'm going to add that to that vacation-y sort of thing, the one that says savoring this season. Story number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I do like these together. Those colors are the same there. Summer vibes, July, highs and lows. This one I would probably cut in half, or a journaling spot and a photo just on top. But okay, so I'm going to set these aside in the envelope, and they will go. I do need to keep this aside for my 2024 project. It's not finished, but I used every single one of these in the album net last year. So I need to make sure I don't use that. So I'm going to add this to my other and maybe bring on the boom. Because these, I think they're supposed to be little fireworks. But I will add loving these lazy days, so I get some of that. What is that, red or orange? It's kind of like, it's more like the orange. So I'm just gonna add that in there. And the last couple of months, let's see, does this go very well with this? The last couple of months, kind of, that does for sure. As does that. I've been changing my mind midway through what I've chosen to do, and I'm just grabbing the whole kit out, which is basically ridiculous. So I'm just going to add this whole thing to this kit right here that I've already got going. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add this one to this as well, because that blue and the grays and stuff, I really like that. Okie doke. So I should put these back in the package, and I will mute this. Let's see, and then I do like this in there somewhere, but I'm not really sure where, because I like the idea of just things about summer that are good, like lazy afternoons on a Saturday, ice cream, fresh fruit, hanging out with friends, staying inside in the air conditioning and watching movies, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to just set these aside in my bin so that if I find an opportunity to use them, then I will use them that way. So I have the envelope, so I'll add it back into the envelope, and I think most of this is stuff from the 2024 kit. Anyway, so I want to see what's in these kits as well to see if there's any pieces. Oh, that looks like it's probably made. Yes, it's made by Paisley Press. Oh, this is fabulous. So it's summer, but it's one filled in and one blank. And then it's got this little blank here so that you can add in these little words here and you could fill in the blank there. So this is probably waves. Every summer has a story. Okay, so I'm totally using that. Let's see. So it looks like Paisley Press helped. Paisley from Paisley Press helped do that. Okay. In summer, I like that. These days of the week card. Summer memories. Okay. Oh, happy day. Love these summer days. This yellow, I think, goes just fine. It's all right. It's not, this one's a more mustardy and this one's a more orangey. But I don't think it would be terrible to use on the same page. Get some super duper colorful labels. In my backyard. Summer and sunshine. Oh, there's a beach vibes. AM, PM. Like it. Okay. And then alpha. And that looks like some stickers. And that's that same pattern. Oh, I love those. That would be fun to use as just cut apart and use a few of them as journaling card toppers like that as well. Plus and minus. Oh, highs and lows. That is basically a similar thing. More sunshine. Those are neon-y. What's this? Monday, Tuesday. Totally love that. I'm going to stick that with my vacation week. Keep moving forward. That one's cool. Sort of a wave. Less in love with that. Looks like I got two of these cards. Probably accidentally. This one is just a plain blue journaling card. Another plain blue journaling card. That one's got a 7 on it. I like that. I like the color block as well. That's kind of a super bright yellow. Let's have some fun. That's funny. Oh, and there's those squiggly little waves. That'll go with my beach vacation. Road trip. I hope to do a road trip. Maybe that would be fun. More fun, fun, fun. Okay, another road trip card. Hope to do a road trip. So here we have a place called Buc-ee's, and people in the South know all about Buc-ee's, but I am not from the South and I have not been yet. So I want to take, so some people I know, I like that card, have said, hey, let's take a road trip and go do some, there's another beach one. And let's go to Buc-ee's. So, what is that? A water, I think that's a watermelon, or maybe it's a rainbow. I don't know. Okay, so that's, this one I like, that one I like, that one I like. I might add it to some of the remnants from, yeah, that looks like, this is a watermelon for sure. And that's got to be a larger version of that watermelon. I'm not really sure what to do with that. I do like the Love These Summer Days. I like this summer better than this summer. I'm not a fan of that. Okay, I'll just maybe add it to my other. All right, and that's 7. That's 7. That's not gonna go with my beachy theme, but that will. All right, that's cool. Okay, I'm going to pull those out to definitely use. And so what I do is I stick these into whatever I decide to pull out. I stick into my bin, my July bin. And so I've got them, because I didn't want 12 of these, and my hope is to get the first half done before I start in the second half. So on one side, it's January, and on the other side, it's July. So they're sitting on top of my my bins, my pull-out drawers, and so what I can do with them is just flip them so that the month that I'm in is forward. So I like these. I'm gonna add those in there. I'm not a super fan of these. Okay. And those look like, I don't want to open them because I don't want to have to do more cutting. So I'm going to put this, take more chances, dance more dances. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. And so far I've only got 2 weeks. So maybe I'll use one of those extra kits that I had made for June. Maybe I'll use it here. I like those numbers. Oh, I think this was the very first one that I subscribed. It is. And I got them, and I didn't really know what to do with them. Go with the flow. Okay. And these are little plastic leaves. Okay, and let's see. Enjoy the space between where you are and where you're going. I like that one. It's a narwhal. All right, let's see. Monthly highlights, some of the very best things. This might go good at the end of the month. This kind of goes well with, didn't this one have one in it? Not that one. The sort of leaf one, or is that on the, okay. Is it on this one? How did these go? It's ephemera, I think. Oh shoot, now I'm mixing them all up. Here, yes. That one's green and that one's blue though. What is that called? Like an elephant plant? Okay, so that one's kind of there. Just set aside for beachy document. And this one also has a summer thing here. This might be good because that one's green. Or I could recolor it so that it's blue and use that for one. I like this painty background. Okay. So let's see. These are sunshine. That one I can't cut in half, and I'm not a fan of that. So maybe. That one's more of a maybe than the narwhal. Keep going, keep growing. I kind of like that one. There's that. Paradise. That might go over there. Here comes the sun. These little leaves. Let's see how much of those leaves this kit has. I need a do-over. Today was awesome. So here's, excuse me, here's another one of those highs and lows. And now that I'm thinking of it, it might be good to just cut this in half and put a 2x3 and cut it in half. And then I have the journaling here and the 2x3 either at the top or the bottom. So I like that one. Just keep going, because, you know, those days are hot. Summer days are hot. A little sand between your toes. I like that. Always on the sunny side. Less of that. The sea is part of me. That's cute. 9. More leaves. Sunshine on my mind. Another Here Comes the Sun. This little florally thing. I like this colors of that. Shake it off. I like that too. I'm going to stick that one over there. I don't like that, but I do like that. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's sort of citrusy. That's usable. What is that? Oh, that's people on towels. I don't like that, but I do kind of like this tie-dye, and that goes well there. Color block card, gray. Another journaling card, flags. Summer reading list. That's pretty awesome. On the menu, also awesome. Best memories. Summer favorites. Palm tree. Weekend adventures. These two I like together, weekend adventures, and my one little word is adventure, so I would like to use those. And so if I, in the evening, I think I put that over there. Oh, did I start over? I think I started over. Okay, so I think I like these numbers, but I'm not really sure what to do with them. I like these leaves, but I don't want a whole thing filled with leaves. So maybe not that. I got some maybes. Okay, so I think I got some vacation-y stuff. And I think what I will do, I'm going to put these back in here. I think I put that in my stash, in my folder for it. What are these? These are alphabets. I like these. I don't think I'll put that with that. And then weekend trip. Where did that road trip one go? Was that in the last one? This one's just more beachy vibes. Okay, so I'll put all these beachy vibe ones together right there. All right, I'm going to stick those back in there. And then weekend trip. Pretty sure there was something in here talking about road trips, because I talked about Buc-ee's and the peeps I hang out with wanting to, us all went, yeah, there it is. Weekend trip, road trip. So, road trip, there's that road trip. So I should put those just in the thing. Little cherries. Okay. I'm not super duper. I do like that. I wish it was bigger. I wish I had that digital kit. Okay, so that's good enough. All right, I guess. And do I want that in there? Yes. So I'll put these in a week. And this in my stash, and put this here. That'll encourage me to use them. This one goes in here. These are kind of like a craft paper stickers. So I'm not sure about that. Okay. Still missing 1 week. So I have 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. And I'm pretty sure there's only 4 weeks since there was 5 weeks for May. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, because this week is kind of 2 half weeks. So this will be August there. I don't think I watched the July from 2022 and 2023. So that gives me an opportunity to look at July and from the inspiration by the month videos. And then I will put these aside for my trip, and I'll have to find an envelope or another page, one of these things, plastic zipper bags to put this stuff in, or one of these bins, something, so that I can begin collecting them, because these look cool together. The other thing I have is a Echo Park beach kit for that, but I'm going to start with some of these journal cards and sort of just work them in, maybe, or use the beach kit for the travel album, because I'm doing a compilation album of the travel for 2025, because I've gone to Branson. I have plans to go to Biloxi Beach and Ohio at least once, Memphis for a weekend over Christmas, and then possibly Eureka Springs with a group, and then now there's talk of a road trip to Buc-ee's because it's just fun. So it's, for whatever reason, I did not get a lot out of these 2 kits that I have. So I have this sort of Studio Calico one with some of the I kind of like this as a flip up because I like the journaling and I like this. So I might try and find a place to use that as a flip up. I like this idea. So I have that ING card that I use, but I think this one might be really nice to use with just to pick one of the cool things that happened this month, or something that I'm super duper in love with. I like both sides of this one, so I might pick one or the other. I like this, just the colors on there. And then I want to cut that one in half. I like Just Keep Going because, you know, Dog Days of Summer. They don't call it that for no reason. And I think it'll be fun to use these 2 cards because literally I just joined an online sort of book club. It's sort of a book club, but I'm going to add their reading to mine so that I can participate in the online book club. I think it would be cool to just write down a menu for one of the week's best memories. That's a good one. Summer favorites. I may or may not use these. And then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, coupled with weekend adventures 1, 2, 3. So, and then I'll add these in there, and if I use them, I use them. If I don't, I don't. So much fun. And then that will mean that that kit is mostly used up because I took a bunch of pieces out to put to my little kit there. I've got a free week. This is mostly this year. This is half this year and half last year, and still haven't used a bunch of last year's pieces. Whoops. Sorry about that, folks. Haven't used a bunch of last year's pieces. So, where's that other? But I've got a bunch of this one from, I think this is the June Stories by the Month, that I pulled a bunch of pieces from a couple of Studio Calico kits that were very similar. So I will probably go ahead and just pop this over into this one. I don't know if I have, I do, I have a sticky. Okay, so that, if I use the red and pink, maybe some of the red from this kit. I don't want to put this whole thing in there because it will make my album pretty fat. So I will put this, move this from the June because I have finished all of my June, and I will put it in my July bin. And that means I will begin. Okay, that goes into the stash. So I'm gonna stick that over there. Okay, so I have my pieces for that one. I have some choices for that one. Have some choices and some choices. This has so much stuff in it that I think, I don't know if it'll stay separated, but I'm going to put this stamp in here as well and see how it goes. Okay, friends, so I have my July pages planned out. I'm going to go stick these in my album, and then I am going to move on to planning August because I also bought the digital version of that kit just in case it was delayed further so that I would not have to wait again. And I printed them out along with my story play, the first two story play kits, because those dates were announced this past week, I think, as well. So once they're, so I did a bunch of printing. Basically, I said all that to say that I just did a bunch of printing. So I'm going to go ahead and put these away and then plan my August story kit, or Stories by the Month kit. Thanks for hanging out with me today, friends. I enjoyed hanging out with you. Go ahead and press the like button and the subscribe button. It really does tell the algorithm what you like and what you don't like, and it'll show you more of my videos if you like them. So I'll see you around the internet, friends. Bye.